Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Chica con Plantas podcast. I'm your host, Grassi. Today, I'm going to be talking about what does it take to be a balanced woman, a balanced person, a balanced human. I don't have it figured out. I definitely do not have it figured out. I sent text messages to my friends and I asked them to send me either a question they might have or a statement they might have about being balanced. I wanted to start off by reading. How do you stay so positive? I don't. I accept every emotion I feel without shame or guilt and work through it. I am not one dimensional. I am a trillion parts and I love and accept them all. The goal isn't positivity, it's self acceptance. And this is by Amethyst Joy, Wild Woman Sisterhood. This is a screenshot that I took from Instagram. It's a story that I ran into from somebody who reposted it. It just happened to show up on my Instagram today. And so I wanted to really focus on this because the idea that being balanced, the idea that being in a good mood, is that means there are only positive things going on in your brain, that there are only positive things existing in your mood. And I really want to focus on the idea that two realities can exist where, for example, today, I'm super excited to record, super excited to talk about this topic, but getting ready, getting Leo situated, setting up, the setup falling apart, the laptop not connecting to my phone, me, because I'm not the best with technology, so this is such a good challenge for me. I'm really growing and learning a lot, but in the process, it's frustrating. So, yes, I'm excited to record, but then I'm struggling, and there are things that go through, there are things that I go through that I get frustrated, and then it makes me want to just, okay, fine, I'll just record tomorrow, and I don't want to get stuck in that. So, being positive just means, to me, that looks like, and in the balanced way, a balanced positivity to me is, yes, it was hard to set up, and yes, it was a challenge, but no, that's not going to ruin what I'm about to do. No, that's not going to ruin the message that I want to put out. And the message is just that a balanced life does not mean that everything's all good, does not mean that everything is perfect. It just means you choose to stay in a positive state of mind, in a balanced state of mind, being aware that there are things going on. So yeah, I just wanted to use today recording and setting up as an example because I was getting really frustrated and it was not fun. But I sat down, I pressed record multiple times, I breathed through, and I just remember, like, this is something I love doing, and even if it's a little frustrating, it's okay. We're okay. We can do this. So I'm going to start reading some of the questions. My beautiful setup. I'm so excited, you guys. This took me a while. I kept turning the plants, and I kept I forgot to get water, and then I served myself water, and then I came without it, and then I had to go back, and yeah, it's a whole thing. So let's get going. I hope everyone's doing good, by the way. I hope everybody is feeling really good. And if you're not, I hope you're digging into that, finding out why you're not feeling good, either jotting it down, talking to a friend. Like I said, my DMs are always open. I hope you guys know that. I hope you guys feel free and welcome to send me a message, pick my brain. I want to pick your brain too. So I want to learn. And the best way that I can learn is through speaking to others, because everything I'm talking about is through limited perspective. So I may think this way about something, but you might not, because you're a totally different person than me. And that's okay. But it's nice to have those conversations because then I can be more aware of the different kind of mentalities that go into it. So first, Julie, thank you so much for sending in your statements and questions. The first sentence she sent was, I would say setting healthy boundaries and knowing how to ask for help are big ones for being balanced. Yes, I agree with this. Setting healthy boundaries for yourself. So knowing when you're kind of hitting that point where you're like, okay, I really need help. Knowing that point takes knowing yourself and knowing your limits and setting boundaries for yourself that are healthy. So then you can ask for help and you can ask somebody for advice and you can open your heart up to somebody who might have gone through something that you already went through. For me, healthy boundaries looks like admitting when I've done everything I can in my power and admitting that I can't do it alone and admitting I can go to someone else for help, for support. She also said, I'd be curious to know from you what you've found the most surprising part of balancing postpartum to be. For me, balancing postpartum has looked like, whoa, this new life of being a mom and taking care of a whole human being alongside Travis and balancing my relationship with my son and the way that I want things done, because things don't have to be done a certain way. So that's why I'm doing quotes, but the way that I would like for things to be done, the little schedules that I want Leo on. But then I don't end up doing those things. I don't end up sticking to a little schedule. So then I kick myself for it. But I just remember that it's okay if it's a rainy day and you want to just snuggle up and cuddle. Like, it's okay if you didn't read to him today. That's something that I've been feeling really, really guilty about, is not reading to him as much because I'm not much of a reader, and it's not an excuse. Because if it's a goal that I have for us as a family and as for Leo's learning, then it's something that I really need to have myself remember that, okay, this is something you want to do, so put your time into it. So just choosing to do it, being more intentional, that's something that I find not super surprising, but just how much more intentional I had to be about things. Because before having Leo, there was no second thought to going to take a shower or doing my skincare or choosing to do my makeup, even just getting out of the house to go to the store. It's a whole event, really, and I've got it down now and I feel a lot more comfortable. But getting used to that intentional part of, okay, this morning I'm gonna get up and I want to do this, so I need to get this and this and this done before. So if I want to go to Target, if I want to go anywhere really, I have to get his diaper bag ready and I have to make sure that there's bottles and diapers and the cream and all the things. I just have to intentionally prepare more, and that's something that I can get flustered over too, because I don't want to miss any things. And by anything, I mean like his teething gel, when he's been teething really bad. And I feel like, oh no, he might, be really sad and in a lot of pain, and I want to have that ready. And so just remembering to like get all the little things, being intentional about it, that's definitely a thing. Being intentional about choosing to spend time with Travis, choosing to, okay, when we go down to bed, we can do this or we can do that. Like, there's no more, there's a lot of spontaneous things still in our day-to-day, but in choosing to like go out and do something as a family or go out together with Travis, it's definitely something that we have to be more intentional about. We have not gone out any time yet, just me and him, and we're glad. This is just like a little side note, but we're glad that we intentionally did all the dates and all the traveling and stuff before we had Leo, because now we're super happy in the phase that we're in, and it's really, really nice. So yeah, being intentional even before having him. Thank you, Julie. Next question is from Drea. She said, what will be important to you in the future as a balanced woman, and what can you do to make room for it now? To be a balanced in the future means being super healthy and being super fit mentally, emotionally, and physically. And the combination of the three are what's really important for me. So that looks like if I set a goal to work out, then I need to accomplish that goal because I need to hold myself accountable because my body wants to be as healthy as possible. So then my mind needs to be healthy too because I need to be able to say, Gracie, get up and go. And I think that takes a lot of mental strength because it can be really easy to get caught up in the little stump feeling of, oh, I don't want to get up, or I don't want to make dinner tonight, or I don't feel like washing my hair today. Any little thing like that. I definitely choosing to, the things that are important, choosing to make time for them and choosing to have mental strength to make time for them. So thank you. That's a really good question. Question number 2, what are things you could do you let go of hurt and pain to be more balanced in life? To let go of hurt and pain to be more balanced in life. Something I can do to let go of hurt is to allow myself to process it first. To allow myself to talk about it with a friend, talk about it with Travis, but first to allow myself to process it myself. Because if I come to a friend with this issue and all I'm doing is rambling and it's not getting me anywhere healthy, instead it's just bringing up the emotions and instead I'm going in circles and circles, that's not healthy. So letting go of the hurt is acknowledging when that hurt is taking over and when it's making you bitter, because I can totally feel myself when I'm getting bitter about a situation because I'm like, I have to tell everybody. Like, no, you don't have to tell everybody. You don't have to tell everyone what's going on. But that feeling definitely comes because there's that feeling of wanting to be justified or not wanting to feel alone and wanting to feel understood in a time where you're feeling completely misunderstood. So letting go of hurt for me looks like processing the hurt first, having a good cry, just allowing yourself to be where you're at. So if you're at a spot where your heart hurts, then allowing yourself to sit in that for a little bit. But then acknowledging that boundary, that line of, okay, I'm wallowing at this point. And at this point, it's not healthy for me. Thank you. Question number 3 from Drea. What do you think it means to be a balanced woman in the world today? In the world today, a balanced woman is just, what do you want in this life as a woman? Because a lot of women want to work and have the profession and the career and also raise their babies. A lot of women just want to raise their babies. And if that's something that you want to do, whatever side you end up picking, then feeling balanced in that and knowing this is something I want to be doing. So being a balanced woman is knowing this is where I want to be at. And all the noise coming from over here. So for example, if you want to have a career and people are like, oh, I can't believe you're doing that, like, that doesn't matter. What they think doesn't matter. They thought that they were only capable of choosing one. But if you know yourself and your passions are to have a career and to raise your kids, then that's what you choose. And knowing that in yourself, knowing this is my choice and this is what I want, and not allowing any of the noise, any of the pressures to tell you, no, you should do that or you should do this. I think that's where you can find true balance as a woman today. Because today, women can work and women can vote and women can do whatever they want with their body. And I think that is it can be scary to a woman. For me, for example, for a long time, I didn't know exactly what I wanted from life. I always knew I wanted to be a mom, and I always knew that I was going to use my voice. Like, those are things that I knew, but they weren't things that I fully believed myself living in the future. So I was like, oh yeah, like I want to be married and I want to have kids and I want to be a mom and I want to sing and I want to do all these things, but I didn't actually picture myself there. And once I started actually picturing myself there, that's when things got real good, because I started being in tune with who I want to be, in tune with the things that I have always desired. And I think that that's important, to be in tune with yourself and what you want to do. And so then everything else, all the other things, don't even affect you, because you know, well, that's definitely not what I want. This is what I want. So I think that that's really important. Question number 4. Do you feel like becoming a mom has opened your eyes more to the meaning of balance and the importance of it? 100%. Because now I want Leo to understand that a mother can have her friends and go out and have fun. A mother can choose to have some spa, alone, gua sha time like I do. A mother isn't just a mother. The balance of, okay, my mom's not just a mom. My mom is also a daughter, a friend, a podcaster, a content creator, a wife. My mom is a sister. My mom is a granddaughter. Like, all of the things that I can be, him knowing that I'm not just a mom, he'll only learn that if I teach him that. So if I am doing everything at the expense of my physical well-being and he sees that I'm doing that, he's going to learn that women do that, because no matter what, your kids think that what you do is right. So I think definitely having Leo made me have a way more tuned in purpose to be more balanced, for sure. And I'm grateful for it, because I do feel more balanced now, and I do feel a lot more empowered in my voice and empowered in my life and the things that I want, and I love it. Thank you very much. Those are really good questions. The next question is from Roxy. How do you prioritize your physical, emotional, and mental well-being in your daily routine? I make sure that I'm taking care of myself. So personally in my life, in the morning, if I want to have tea or coffee, I make sure that I get that for myself. So if I'm like, oh, I want to have a treat, that's usually my coffee or tea, then I go and I do it. I choose to go and do it. If I want to record a podcast, I intentionally have to choose and go do it, prioritizing my well-being of, oh, these are things that I enjoy doing. I enjoy analyzing and reflecting and recording and getting ready. And so making time intentionally for those things is how I prioritize my physical, emotional, and mental well-being, because it takes all of those, a combination of all of those together to have that balance. So if I'm feeling, for example, if I'm about to be like on my period and I know that I'm going to be PMSing, but then there's also things going on at home or in the family or in my life. If there's just things going on and I'm not mentally fully there and I'm still feeling a little emotional, then I know that I can't just get on and get up and go. Like, I know that I have to sit there and really reflect on what's going on and allow myself to do that. So my mental and emotional well-being needs to be good for me to then be able to focus on my physical. And I never want to neglect myself, because I never want to teach want to teach Leo to neglect himself, or to teach Leo that a woman neglects herself at the expense of her children. Yeah, that's definitely a huge thing in my culture, where women just go for their kids. And it is beautiful. I was raised by a mom who did it all. And that's literally the reason I wanted to be a mom, because I saw how great she was at it, and I saw how impactful her relationship with me was and how close we were. But she didn't go out often with friends. So then I, not intentionally, but just would want to just be home when Travis would get home, because I'm like, oh, well, when he gets home, I want to spend time with him. And that's the time that I get to spend time with him. But then I can also prioritize friendships, and I can also make time for them. So that's something I still struggle with to this day. And it's something I feel really guilty about sometimes to this day. And so making time for that, now adding Leo in the picture, it just, it can really make me feel like I'm lacking in my presence as a friend. And yeah, just real quick to all my friends, thank you for being understanding. Thank you for loving me and for being so supportive. I love you all so much. Like, every time I think about my friends, I'm just like, how did I get so lucky? How did I get so, like, how were all the little situations, how did they all line up so that I could meet this person? Like, it just really is beautiful, because when you have women around you who are equally motivated and equally supportive and loving, it changes the game, because now you have something pure and true to compare all the other stuff to. And so it opens up your eyes to all the other stuff. And I think that that's beautiful. And I totally went off on a tangent, but yeah, thank you to all my friends, because I love all you guys. You guys are the best. So Roxy also said, a balanced woman involves navigating various aspects of life, personal growth, relationships, career, and well-being. To me, as a woman, we balance various roles and responsibilities that we often juggle and can result as challenging but rewarding. So I focus on setting priorities. I identify what matters the most to me in my personal and or professional life, family, career, social life, health, and hobbies. Prioritizing guides me to focus on what truly matters. I also love to use my calendar on my phone or any apps that can help me schedule any tasks, responsibilities, and or reminders, birthdays, events, doctor appointments, etc. In addition, I try to practice self-care, seek support, staying flexible, embracing imperfection, and reflecting regularly. One thing I lack is saying no. I need to learn and recognize my limits. I always try to be there for everyone or take on responsibilities or commitments. I mean, seriously. Who could have said it better? Who? Other than my family, Roxy. Roxy is my dad's cousin, but she's around my age, so me and her are really close, and I love her so much. She just had her third boy. That is so exciting. A boy mom like me. A 3 times boy mom, imagine that. So I was on Threads the other day, and somebody's username, the D Woods, she threaded or posted, what the term is, going through things mentally and still having to be a parent, with the little crying little like watery eyes face. How hard it can be to balance when you have to care for a little. I think it has opened my eyes to how much a woman goes through, because a woman is just mentally being connected to your child and being connected to their needs and wanting to help them despite anything going on. Like, if Leo needs something, I'm like, oh, I have to go get him. And then if I don't get him instantly, I already feel guilty because of that feeling of, oh, I need to go and I need to help him. And but then what about me, What about my mental state? And it's definitely, again, like choosing, like, for example, being like, okay, at his next nap, I'm going to go to the shower and I'm going to have a good cry, because it's it sounds counterintuitive, like holding off on your feelings to then do it. But if that's the way that you're going to process it the best, then that's the way that you can do it. And yeah, just the mental toll that it takes to not only take care of your own mental state, but then also the mental state of your baby, because he's laughing. So cute. He's laughing over there. So that makes me really happy, because a little bit of guilt in me is like, oh, it's the weekend. I could be hanging out with Leo. But right now I'm like, no. The other side of it is he's hanging out with his dad and they're having a good time and they're laughing and they're giggling and they're getting to know each other. So I think that's beautiful. My friend Danielle said, what boundaries do you need to set to protect your energy? The boundaries I need to set to protect my energy are anything that doesn't make me feel good, anything that makes my body feel in turmoil with itself, then I need to pay attention to that and I need to say no to that and I need to act accordingly. So if it's somebody who's making me uncomfortable, then I need to remove myself. If it's something that's making me unhealthy, if my goals are XYZ and I'm choosing to do, like, have a pint of ice cream, which I don't do, but if I choose to do that, then it's not aligning with my goals. So the boundary that I need to set is not doing that thing, not putting myself in the presence of that person who's hurting me. It's knowing yourself, paying attention to your body, being in tune with yourself, and knowing this is making me uncomfortable. And how do you know that? You'll feel it in your body. My friend Kabenzi asked, what are some ways you can practice being balanced in your day-to-day life? In my day-to-day life, being balanced, which I already touched a little bit on it, but something else that I can do to be balanced is if I want to have some lazy time, I need to be able to do that. So I need to go to Travis and I need to say, hey, I would like this. And it just takes that communication. So what can I do to practice balance in my day-to-day? I need to communicate. What are my needs? I need to communicate my needs not only with myself, but also with the other people who live with me so that they can be aware of where I'm at. And then we can support each other. Communication goes a long way in allowing for balance. Because if I don't say, hey, Travis, I'm struggling with this. Can I do this? He's never going to know. And of course he offers it. And of course he allows me to sleep. Not allows me to sleep in, but on the weekdays, I take care of Leo at night. And then Travis will rest and go to work. And then we do bedtime together. And then I take care of Leo on the nights. And so on the weekend, Travis is taking care of Leo and is getting up with him. And so there's that balance. And sometimes during the week I am exhausted and I'm like, I can't do it tonight. And it takes me intentionally going to Travis and saying that so that he can be aware. Because if he has no idea, he's in deep sleep, he might be assuming that I'm taking care of Leo because I am more than happy to. But if I know that I'm exhausted, I need to communicate that. So it goes back to that first question of that first statement of asking for help, being able to ask for help and admit when you're not on your tip-top shape and that when you can't give your 100 in a certain thing. So yeah, just asking for support. I think that's really important. Thank you for your question, Danielle, too. Thank you. I didn't say thank you before or after I read it, and I'm sorry. And so, yeah. I'm like, if I say thank you to one person, I must say thank you to everybody else. But you guys understand. Okay, my friend Nancy, she said, when did you realize that being a balanced woman wasn't something so complicated as many people make it to be? So I realized it's as easy as just doing it. I realized if I want to raise Leo in certain ways, then I need to act in certain ways. Leo will do the things that I do. He's going to learn from me. If I tell him not to do something and I do it, he's going to do it. He's screaming. Yeah, so it's really important to just admit to yourself, okay, this is something I want to do, so let's do it. It's not that hard. It's just a decision. It just takes, like, oh, like right now. If you need to go to the bathroom and you need to go really bad, you stand up and you go. You don't wait. And I think that's really important, to take that and then apply it to everything else, just doing it. Because being a balanced woman means just communicating, doing the things I like, pouring into my family, pouring into myself, just doing it. And I think that's really good. She also said, besides yourself and your son, what has been your biggest motivation to be a balanced woman? My future self. I know that my future me is way more balanced and way more clear headed and way more successful and meeting a lot of her goals because she's in tune with herself. And I feel in tune now, but I can be more in tune, and I know that I can be, and I know I can keep growing. So just keeping my future self as my motivation definitely keeps me going. She also said, can't find balance until you remove the people who are misbalancing your life. You're the one in control of who has access to you. You're the one making the plan. Oh, wait, sorry. This is what I wrote in response to Nancy. You're the one making the plan, causing you to have anxiety and feel turmoil in your body. Yeah, that's your body telling you no. And I said this in response to being balanced and in response to knowing when something causes your body turmoil. So just finding balance in identifying the things that are misbalancing your life, whatever that may look like. Have you found yourself regretting any decisions you have made before finding peace? I don't regret any decision, but my heart does feel sad. I do feel sad at certain things that more like certain people that I don't speak to anymore, because there is love there, but the respect isn't reciprocated, and the guard, like, for them to guard my heart like I guard theirs, it's not reciprocated. So it's just hard, because admitting that to myself and then acting accordingly, like, that is challenging. It's not easy. So, me talking about setting boundaries with people and setting boundaries with yourself, it's not easy. I'm not having an easy time here. My friends know. My friends will be the first to tell you. I will be the first to go to them and pour out my heart, because I know how important that is. So yeah, no regrets, more just I do feel for the things that I've had to stop. A lot of the things that I've had to stop also just eating a bunch of junk food, which we still eat junk food. We literally had Taco Bell today. But I just definitely, I'm not going to, like, I used to have breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks in between, and I genuinely thought that my body needed all that, but I wasn't even taking a look at the calorie count because I wasn't aware and I wasn't educated on health. And Travis has taught me a lot, and I'm really grateful for that. But me finally taking an interest for myself and choosing health, that's when when everything started clicking for me. When all of the things for health to myself started clicking. I also wrote, so thank you everybody for your statements and your questions. And now I just want to read something off to you guys. Stop going to everyone for advice. They're going to tell you what they would do based off their perspective and judgment, and they're not you. So what I mean by that is, stop going to everyone for advice. So when you're asked, what do you want to do for a living? I had no idea what I wanted to do for a living. And I allowed everyone's voices to lead me toward, oh, you should go to college. And yes, I loved college. I enjoyed learning, and it awakened that part of me, because in elementary school, middle school, high school, I was not a scholar, to say the least. I just I'm very intelligent and very smart, but I wasn't dedicated and I wasn't in the mood for it. Maybe because it was forced on me, maybe because I was just a child, I don't know, but I definitely just wasn't. And so then when I chose to go to school, I realized how much I love it. And that's a part of me that, yes, I enjoyed and I love and I still have to this day. But I mean, I don't want to say I could have done better things with my time. That's not true, because that time that I went to school was useful because it's made me who I am today. But I wouldn't have had struggles knowing what I want to do if I had not listened to, oh, maybe you want to, be a HR, or you want to be a doctor or a psychologist, a therapist, or, and while those are all things that I can see strengths in myself with, does that make sense? Yes. I don't, that's not what I wanted. This is what I wanted. Now that I'm in it, though, I know what I wanted. And I guess there's never a fully paved little picture of, like, for example, I'm over here, maybe I'm like 15 and I'm like, oh, I want this and this for my life. And then you're over here and you're finally like 30 and you have the things and they don't look at all what you thought they would look like, but they're way better. And you're grateful that they're way better. Like for me, I pictured my husband as somebody caring, loving, and kind, and somebody funny. And I didn't fully understand what that meant because I was little, and because now that we've been through a traumatic birth together, now that we've been through postpartum together, and through 5 years of relationship, we have grown together and we've been able to identify what we love and what we want to do and how we want, our lives to look. And I never would have pictured my life the way it is. Even though this is what I desired, I feel that peace in me of, wow, this is what I've always wanted. This is my heart. I'm pouring my soul into something that I really do love. But a big part of me when I was younger didn't know that. So just being open to the fact that your future can look different than you pictured, but trusting the feeling. So again, trusting your body, the feeling of, this is what I wanted. This is definitely what I wanted. And for me, that looks like my son, Leo, my fiance, Travis, this home that we have, where we live, my love for skincare and makeup and hair, my love for the world, my love for talking to others and being there for others, and my love for being raw and honest and not presenting myself as if I'm somebody who has it all figured out, because I really don't. I have really been struggling with balancing my boundaries toward others, because then that means, because a boundary isn't, please don't do that. A boundary is, if you do this, then XYZ. And for me, that looks like, if you trample all over my heart, I can't have you have that same access to my life. It just means I'm not going to put that energy into that. And that hurts my heart, because that involves siblings, that involves parents, that involves friends. It involves so many people who I genuinely poured my heart into and let it be known that these are things that, like basically begging these people to treat me the way that I deserve to be treated. And then them still turning around and doing shady things, and shady things hurt my heart, and I don't want to put myself there. So choosing to do that is hard. it's not easy to think that I might never talk to these people again, or to think that I might never see these people again. But I'm at peace with it because I know that looking at my past 2 weeks, how have I felt? I felt amazing. At the same time, I have cried and I've felt sad and I've mourned certain relationships, but I've still felt amazing because in the end I know that, wow, like I'm finally honoring myself. I'm finally standing on business and being like, no, that is not allowed here. And I think that's so important. I know that's so important. Just having just that sure, that knowing within yourself, this is me, this is what I want, this is what I deserve. Anything that doesn't align with that doesn't align. And it's like fitting a bunch of circles in a little circle box, and then there's two squares. The squares are not going to fit. They do not align with how round your situation is. They're square, they don't fit. So, yes, just knowing yourself, deeply within yourself, trusting that you're making the best decisions for yourself, and then not second guessing yourself and doubting it, because it does take work, and there are times when I second guess myself. So that advice, everything I ever say, applies to me too. But it's just so important to value your own voice and to value your own body. And there's so many years that I didn't learn that because I was taught, don't listen to your body and don't listen to your voice. Listen to me instead. I know what's best. And that made me disassociate from my body and not be able to pay attention. And after I was able to strip those negative thoughts away and all of the things that weighed on me, I was able to see more clearly. I started paying attention to my body more. I started paying attention to my desires more. I started playing with my makeup again because I used to just do my makeup the same, just, my go-to look. And now I explore with my makeup like I used to when I was little. And now I sing and I work out and I dance and I do all these things and I feel so free, when in comparison to before, like hindsight, I would, even in my own home, even when Travis was working and I didn't have Leo yet, I would feel shy to like be me. And why? It's just so interesting that even when nobody was watching, there was parts of me that still felt like I couldn't, be my complete self because of what? Because of who's gonna say what? It's just, what the person who's gonna say what that matters is me. And what I'm gonna say about singing and dancing is, girl, you're having a fun time. What I'm gonna say about doing my makeup and my hair and getting ready is, damn girl, you look good. like really, the only thing that matters is what I think and say and judge for my life. It just is. Okay. Thank you guys so much for listening, so much for tuning into this. I hope that the message came across how I really wanted to speak about the balance, having balance in your life. And really, having balance in your life means knowing yourself. I hope that you use this message to reflect this week. I hope that you use this message to motivate you and keep you going, and to trust yourself a little bit more every day, just a little bit more, and to do just every day something that you want to do for you. Thank you for watching. I'm going to go take care of Leo now and hang out with Travis and flirt, and I'm excited. I'll probably eat some more Taco Bell too. Who knows? We'll see you guys next time. Bye.